All right, let's look at one more team. I've been talking about UNC Greensboro a little bit. Nobody else is talking about them, and I would not put it past the selection committee to give them serious discussion on Selection Sunday. So first, let's take a glance at East Tennessee State because this ties into UNC Greensboro. So right now, most folks, including myself, have East Tennessee State making the tournament if they were to lose in their conference tournament in 3 weeks from today, actually. So, excuse me, 2-2 quad 1, 2-1 quad 2. So they're 4-3 quad 1 and 2 games, which is excellent. They're 9-3 road record, excellent. Top 100 strength of schedule, excellent. The only thing that's holding them back right now is that quad 4 loss to Mercer. I don't know what happened to them that game, but it wasn't even close. They lost by 16. So East Tennessee State, if not for that loss, they would be in the 7-8 seed range easily. So as of now, I've got them as the last 11 seed, and I think that that's a good compromise. The quad 4 loss is penalizing them, but I don't think it should be the end of the world for them because other than that, you don't really see too many bad losses on their resume. So again, let's transition that over to UNC Greensboro because that is relevant. Where is their profile? Always have trouble with this. UNCG. All right. So quad 1, 2-2. Quad 2, 2-2. So they're 4-4. Quad 1 and 2. They've got a great win against Georgetown, and I really think that Georgetown performing well of late. And I have Georgetown as a single-digit seed as of today. That is really helping them. The other thing that's really helping UNC Greensboro is the fact that they've got all 4 of their quad 1 and 2 wins are away from home. That tells us the selection committee that you can play. Your road record is 8-3. That is excellent. Top 100 strength of schedule, excellent. Here's the drawback with UNC Greensboro. All right, quad 3. All right, you're going to give them a pass for this, but then they've also got a quad 4 loss, a home loss to Montana State, and there's no question that's what's holding them back from being an at-large team. But will the selection committee look at the big picture on selection week? If you're competing against teams like Indiana, who are, don't have more than 1 or 2 road wins. Let's say Oregon State or Notre Dame or SMU gets to the edge of the bubble, and those teams have non-conference strength of schedules in the 300s. Then you have to think that the selection committee will give UNCG the edge there. Now, we can't say for sure, but my whole position is this. If UNC Greensboro beats Furman in a week from tomorrow, and then they beat Furman again in the conference semifinals, because we have to assume that they're going to be the 2 and 3 seeds, and then they get to the finals and they lose to East Tennessee State, then that's going to put them at 6-5 in quad 1 and 2 games. And you really would just, and that would put them at what? Away from home, that would be what, 10-4? So the question is, if that scenario plays out, are they going to be basically totally ruled out because of that quad 4 loss, or is the selection committee going to give them the benefit of the doubt because otherwise their profile looks good? No way to know until March 15th, but I would not 100% rule UNC Greensboro out between now and Selection Sunday. Okay, so as of now, Baylor, Kansas, Gonzaga, San Diego State, clear number 1 seeds. Duke, I think the 2 line has become a lot more clear. Duke, Dayton, Florida State, Maryland. I am going to be moving Penn State up today after looking at their resume the last couple days. So I did this because the selection committee didn't even let them sniff a 5 seed on the bracket reveal a couple weeks ago, even though their profile warranted a top 4 seed. And they weren't even in the first 3 teams out of the top 4 seed range. So that told me that their non-conference strength of schedule, which is in the 330s, is really hurting them. But I think at this point, 7-3 in quad 1, you can easily put them at least in the 4 range, maybe even the 3 range. I'll probably keep them in this 4 range again, because I do think the selection committee has showed that they're going to be penalized for that poor non-conference strength of schedule. So yeah, with the Auburn and Louisville losses and West Virginia losses the past couple weeks, it's become pretty clear that these are going to be your 2 seeds. I don't think Penn State is a 2 seed quite yet, although I wouldn't put it out of the question for them if they just keep killing it like they do. Let's see, who else is controversial? A lot of folks have been hard on Wichita State. A lot of people have Wichita State right on the bubble. I honestly do not see it. I am not completely sure what other folks are looking at. Where's their profile? All right, 2 and 3 quad 1, okay, decent enough. 6 and 3 quad 2, which is totally fine. So that puts them at what, 8 and 6 quad 1 and 2. I know that's not the only thing that matters, but above 500 record in quads 1 and 2 is very good. Road record 4 and 3, that's good. Non-conference strength of schedule is 128, which is, it's not going to help you, but it's not going to hurt you either. And then the biggest thing, they have no quad 3 and no quad 4 losses. Teams with profiles like that on Selection Sunday historically do not get left out of the field. So if you're a Wichita State fan, honestly, you have nothing to worry about as long as you don't lose any of these quad 3 and 4 games going into Selection Sunday here in almost 4 weeks. Okay, so this video is going kind of long. Let me see who else. Anybody else I want to talk about before? Northern Iowa lost at Loyola Chicago the other day, but honestly, that's not really a big deal for them because it was a quad 2 loss. I mean, it would have basically solidified them as an at-large team, but as it stands, that's not going to be a loss that hurts you too much. Where's Northern Iowa at? You guys are probably seeing it, and I'm not seeing it. Oh, this is very frustrating when this happens. Oh, jeez. There they go, 40. All right. So, 4 and 2, quad 1 and 2 games, but they had the huge win at Colorado, which has been that's basically the thing that's keeping them in the field, along with their quad 1 and 2 records. Yes, they do have the 2 bad quad 3 losses, but they're not quad 4. Historically, 2 quad 3 losses, especially with the new selection committee last year, which I talked about in a previous video, being six mid-majors back, ADs and conference commissioners from mid-major conferences. So 60% of the selection committee is from mid-majors now, which it wasn't that way up through before last year. It was 50-50. And so now that the mid-major representation has gotten larger, then I think that the selection committee will be more likely to forgive a team for things like that. They have a top 100 strength of schedule, non-conference strength of schedule, good road record. I think Northern Iowa is going to be just fine on Selection Sunday as long as they don't suffer any more bad losses. So yeah, that's it for now. Let's check back in later this week. A lot of big bubble games today. VCU's last prayer for an at-large is tonight against Dayton. Don't expect them to win that game, but if something happens and they do, then they're right back in the conversation, and we'll have to put them in the last 4 out or something like that, and then that'll leave them sort of their destiny will sort of be in their hands the last couple weeks of the season. All right, well, thanks everybody. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me at Bracket Forecast on Twitter. Bracketforecast.com is where you can go for bracket projections, and then yeah, we'll be doing another video here in the next week or so. All right, thanks. See ya.